The water wave balance technology is completely new and unique technology and a new principle for dynamic orthopedic working soles. This will improve the employee's execution of jobs with a greater stability and confidence. This new technology will simultaneously reduce the strain on the locomotion system as well as naturally occurring tiredness in accordance with completely new principles. The Medicovi A40 is constructed of soft pressure distributing and resilient anti-static EVA upper sole with a water-filled pressure wave massage sole underneath. This will improve balance, absorb shock, and reduce tiredness and pain. The sole is 4.5 millimeters thick, foot formed, and will fit inside most working shoes. The Medicovi A41 is similar to the Medicovi A40, but around the pressure wave massage sole is wound a wide copper band, providing the Medicovi A41 with an electrical resistance of less than 12.5 milliohms. The A41 is meant for the ESD shoes and must therefore always be tested in accordance with the current standards and relation to the actual shoe. Until now, we have not experienced any cases where the Medicovi A41 does not cover the safety requirements. This new orthopedic working sole system is based on the unique water-filled pressure wave massage sole, which is an integral part of both the A40 and the A41. The pressure wave massage sole is only 2 millimeters thick, and the sole contains a small amount of water. The sole has been manufactured from specifically very strong, relatively rigid and inelastic materials, which allow a large hydraulic pressure to form when the body weight puts load onto the sole through the foot. The large hydraulic pressure will push a water film underneath the foot supporting surfaces. The water film is forming a movable transition or a foot sole joint between the sole of the shoe and the sole of the foot. Even the smallest movement of the body will generate extremely fast as well as slow-moving pressure waves in the water film inside the pressure wave massage sole. The extremely fast pressure waves will be picked up by the foot's sensory nerves, which will provide an automatically and mechanically better balance immediately, thereby creating a powerful reduction of tiredness. The slow-moving pressure waves will provide a strong massage and pressure distributing effect on the surface of the foot and at the same time interrupting the shoe's damaging fixing and passivitating of the foot and the sole of the foot. The massaging and pressure distributing effect will increase the blood circulation, will also provide a powerful reduction of tiredness as well as being pain reducing. The pressure wave massage sole's instant and mechanically balance enhancing effect is a completely new and orthopedic function, which increases the safety and reduces tiredness. Placing an A40 or an A41 on a table and pushing lightly on the heel with one finger, it is possible, as shown on the picture, to feel the sensory enhancement on all of the fingers touching the sole. The balancing system will react immediately in accordance with the sole's powerful enhanced sensory influence, which will reduce the sway instantly and thereby create a better balance when performing standing and walking work. This is a purely mechanical as well as an automatic function, which is achieved solely by the construction of these soles. By leaning against a wall, one will quite clearly notice how much muscle power or energy is required to maintain balance. Throughout the day when performing standing and walking work, a natural tiredness will develop in the muscle groups which are continuously controlling the balance. The smaller the sway, the less muscle power is required by the balance controlling muscles, and the less tiredness will develop during the course of the day. Through the mechanically balance improving effect, the A40 and A41 will automatically reduce tiredness when standing and walking work is being performed. These tiredness reducing characteristics are quite unique to the Medicovi A40 and A41 and can be achieved only through the Medicovi insoles water wave balance technology. On the graph we have recorded the balance on the right foot for a person standing by a workbench and doing light work with the right hand. The movement of the sway is the measurement of the deviation of the center of pressure. With ordinary working soles, the total deviation is 5 millimeters. With the Medicovi A40, the sway has been reduced to a deviation of approximately 2 millimeters, corresponding to a reduction of the movement of the sway of 60%. This is not exactly the same as saying that the tiredness has been reduced by 60%, but it is an indication that a considerable tiredness reduction has taken place. The working soles A40 and A41 are the only insole performing a mechanical and instant improvement of balance. This means that the soles are directly reducing the energy consumption which is being used throughout the day. We measure the balance with electronic measuring soles placed between the foot and the soles. With the electronic measuring soles, we can measure changes of the center of pressure, which corresponds to the body's center of gravity, projected onto the surface of the foot. The program will calculate the center of pressure and then graphically illustrate the movement of the center of pressure in different ways based on time. The graph we have just shown for the balance of a standing person is one way of showing the movement in the time of the center of pressure. We can, however, also show the movement of the center of pressure on a stylized picture of a foot, as shown here, based on a golf stroke or drive. When comparing balance measurements with and without the Medicovi insoles, the measurements are always carried out immediately one after the other. The measurements do therefore show the difference in the movements of the center of pressure as it happens with and without the Medicovi insoles. Our definition of balance is the less the center of pressure of swaying, the better the balance is. The more uniform the curve of the development of the center of pressure is during the movement, the better the balance will be. When we are healthy and fit and executing a working movement, we do not think about the balance at all. The control of the balance is something that happens in our subconscious. As it applies to all control systems, balance during the working movements will also improve and become safer when the level of information is increased. This is exactly what happens when the A40 and the A41 are enhancing the sensory influence on the sensory nerves of the foot. In order to illustrate the sole's positive influence on the working movement, we have chosen to show how the A40 is able to change the pattern of movement during the drive performed by the PGA golf professional Klaus Volter. It will take Klaus Volter approximately 0.8 seconds to perform the swing movement of the drive. If the A40 and the A41 is able to have any direct influence on the balance during the actual movement, the insole's sensory influence on the soles must be extremely fast. The specific uniqueness in the construction of the pressure wave massage soles is that the extremely fast pressure waves will extend across the sole within milliseconds. These thoughts and ideas are new to a working sole. If we are trying to prevent a fall, for instance, the speed of the information must by necessity be extremely fast. Through the Medicovi waterwave balance technology, such an extremely fast reaction time is achieved, and with the A40 and A41, a fall can be prevented. Shown here are 4 measurements taken of Klaus Volter's right foot in the drive, 2 with the Medicovi A40 and 2 with ordinary golf shoes. The measurements were taken immediately after each other. There is, as presented, a very big difference between the measurements with the A40 and the measurements with the ordinary golf shoe. With the A40, Klaus Volter is able to push the center of gravity as well as body further back towards the heel compared to what he can do with ordinary golf shoes. This is what Klaus wants, as it will generate a longer drive with the ball, as it will provide an increased acceleration phase, thus generating a longer hit with the ball. The enhanced sensory information allows for the balancing system through the locomotive system to be able to execute working movements more in accordance with our wishes. When we place the 2 curves for Klaus Volter's drives with the Medicovi A40 on top of each other, it will be seen that they are almost identical. Only during the last part of the move where Klaus Volter has finished the drive and has moved the right foot to be resting on the toe, can insecurity in the moving pattern be noticed. This tells us that the movement during the 2 drives has been executed with a great stability and security. Placing the 2 drives with ordinary soles on top of each other, it can be clearly seen that there is great difference between the 2 drives' moving pattern. This indicates without the Medicovier 40, greater instability during the movement is dominating, i.e. the movement has been carried out with little stability and with great uncertainty. The extremely fast and increased sensory information achieved with the Medicovier A40 and A41 provides a greater stability and security during the working movement. The improved balance achieved mechanically and automatically by using the Medicovier A40 and A41 is an entirely new and unique orthopedic feature. This presents completely new advantages when performing standing and walking work. Taking advantage of the extremely rapid sensory influences on the sensory nerves of the sole of the foot, the balancing system will gain much greater control of the working movements, and now, which means the working movements will be executed more in relation to our wishes. The working movements will be executed with greater stability and security. The learning of new movements will become easier. The risk of falling will be minimized. The reduction of energy used when performing standing and walking work and the greater security during the execution of the movement can only be achieved through Medicovier's water wave balance technology. Under the management of Professor Pascal Madeleine and Professor Uwe Kirsting, the Center for Motor Interaction at Aalborg University has carried out a scientific analysis of Medicovier insoles' influence on the balance, which has documented the insole static as well as dynamic balance improving characteristics. The analysis has been performed with the support from the Agency for Science and Innovation. During standing and walking, the body weight will create a powerful friction against the underlay, resulting in the majority of the muscle power used during the rotation movements being consumed in the ankle, knee, and hip joints. The hydraulic water film in the pressure wave massage sole will reduce the friction between the foot and the sole of the foot. Because the balance providing film is pushed underneath the foot supporting surfaces under great hydraulic pressure, there will form some kind of hydraulic foot sole joint. The water film in the hydraulic foot sole joint will reduce the strain on the joints caused by the rotation force of the body's turning movement. At the same time, the insole will improve balance. Most people will initially think that the water film will create insecurity. The opposite, however, is what happens with the Medicovier A40 and A41, because mechanically they will improve balance during the actual movement. It is easy to experience how the hydraulic foot sole joint will reduce the strain on the joints during the body's turning movements. Turn the body with some force from side to side with a pair of Medicovier insoles in the shoes. Then remove the insoles from the shoes and perform the same turning movements from side to side. It is now obvious that without the Medicovier insoles, the joints in the ankle, knee, hip, and back are strained much more during the turning movements. The easier turning movements of the body will generate less tiredness and will at the same time provide pain relief for the knee and hip joints. This is particularly important for older colleagues who might often experience problems, especially with the knees and hips. When we are resting, the cells in the muscles and tissues will receive energy in the form of glucose through the blood circulation. Some of this energy will be stored in the cells as energy reserve. If the work or the loading is demanding that the cells need more energy than what is being produced continuously through the blood circulation, then the cells will be using some of the stored energy. Therefore, if we, during the course of the working day, notice tiredness or even pain in the moving apparatus, it is first and foremost a lack of energy supply to these areas of the locomotion system where the tiredness and pain are occurring. The problem is magnified by the fact that we walk on level surfaces with shoes fixing the foot, and this combination will result in a one-sided and continuous loading of the exposed joints, muscle groups, and supporting tissue. Tiredness in the supporting cells of the foot in particular has great significance. The reason being that the lack of energy supply in those cells will develop tiredness and pain in the sole of the foot, specifically and simultaneously. This tiredness or pain will influence the tiredness or pain in heel, knee, hip, and back. Our movement across level surfaces with rigidly fixed shoes results in the development of inexpedient one-sided loading of the muscles in the locomotion system, as well as of the joints of the knee, hip, and back. Genetically, we're meant to be moving around on uneven surfaces where the unevenness causes continuous variation in the loading of the sole of the foot, thereby providing a forceful and ongoing variation in the loading of the joints of the knees, hip, and back, as well as the muscles in the locomotion system. Through slow-moving hydraulic pressure waves within the pressure wave massage sole, the hydraulic foot sole joint, the sole of the foot is forced in continuous movements. This interrupts the fixed strain on the locomotion system caused by the shoes and the level surfaces. Medicovi A40 and A41, by provoking movements, provide a gentler and varied strain on the joints as well as the muscle groups in the moving apparatus, and this will reduce strain-causing tiredness. The shoe will always fix the foot in such a way that it will be the same small areas of the sole which continuously carry the body weight. This one-sided loading will restrict the blood circulation to the layers of skin exposed. This one-sided loading will restrict the blood circulation to the layers of skin lose energy and supporting capacity as well as thereby lose energy and supporting capacity as well as collapsing. When walking barefoot on uneven surfaces, the strain of the foot will be different with each step. When walking barefoot on uneven surfaces, the strain of the foot the individual supporting skin layers will therefore the blockage of the blood circulation which the individual skin layers and maintaining therefore blood circulation, thus retaining carrying skin layers and maintaining in a more efficient blood circulation, thus the moment the Medicovi A40 and A41 are exposed to pressure from the foot, hydraulic pressure in the water will develop, corresponding to the weight of the body. The hydraulic pressure will instantly distribute the loading from a potentially pain-creating pressure point over a large area of the foot surface. Through the hydraulic pressure in the pressure wave massage sole, a pain-relieving pressure distribution will be generated instantly and at the same time provide great comfort. Every time the body's position is changed, slow-moving pressure waves or pressure changes will be generated in the pressure wave massage sole. Through a massage-providing effect, the pressure waves will continuously be forcing new and changing loadings onto the ball of the foot. The time is reduced that the various areas of the ball of the foot are being loaded, and this will interrupt the usual blockage of the blood circulation to the foot supporting cells caused by the shoe. At the same time, the hydraulic pressure waves massage generating effect will force the foot to undertake much larger movements, which will increase the effect from the venous pumping system in the feet and the legs. The pressure relief of the supporting tissue in the sole of the foot and the greater influence from the venous pumping system will mechanically increase the blood circulation in the sole and the foot. Provoking movements from the foot sole joint will then discontinue the fixing of the foot and the sole caused by the shoe, as well as increasing the blood circulation and reducing pain. The combination of the pressure relief and the provoking movement of the foot is what we call water wave therapy or sensory massage. Dr. Bison Müller, Copenhagen University, and Professor Michael Voigt, Aalborg University, have cooperated in carrying out an assessment of the Medicovi insoles function based on measurements with electronic measurement soles. In their Dr. Bison Müller and Professor Michael Voigt define the Medicovi insoles' basic function as sensory massage, a kind of foot massage made up of the combination of these three elements: continuous variation of the pressure loading under the sole of the foot, continuous stimulation of the muscle activity and the movement of the foot, increased awareness about posture and balance. Sensory massage increases the blood circulation in the feet and legs and also causes a continuous and positive variation in the distribution of the load on the feet, knee, hip, and back. The use of the Medicovi insole therefore provides a general increase in comfort, as well as reducing the risk of lasting difficulties in the locomotion system. Tiredness strain of heel, knee, hip, and back is a general problem when performing standing and walking work. There are two particular reasons for tiredness strain in heel, knee, hip, and back. One will result from tiredness in the muscles of the foot's resilient system. The other one is caused by pain in the ball of the foot following tiredness. The major reason for these problems, as previously mentioned, is the poor circulation in the feet as a result of us moving about in fixing shoes on level surfaces. From a resilience technical point of view, the bones in the foot are, as shown in the drawing, split into two groups. The outside group A, shown by the pink colour, and the inside group B, shown by the yellow colour. Biodynamically, the two bone groups together with the foot's tendons and muscles are forming the two vertical triangles A1 in the red and B1 in the green. The two triangles have got a common starting point by the heel, but then dividing in a way whereby the bone group in the triangle A1 is facing the outside of the foot and the triangle B1 is facing the inside. The outside bone group A and the triangle A1 have very limited movements, whereas the inside group B and triangle B1 are moving very easily. The muscle groups C, D, and E are holding the outside triangle A1 with limited movements together with the easily moving triangle B1. When the body is putting weight on the foot, top point B2 will be moving downwards towards the underlay, and the muscles C, D, and E will simultaneously be strengthened, and the foot will spread out towards B3. The movement of the arch up and down is therefore an important function in relation to the foot's natural resilience. In order for the natural resilient system to be able to provide an efficient relief of the locomotion system, it is important that the muscle groups C, D, and E are being supplied with sufficient energy. Tiredness will often occur in the feet as a result of reduced blood flow, from which will follow that the strength of the muscle groups C, D, and E will be reduced, and thus the foot will flatten out. This change in the tiredness will generate unpleasantness or pain, after which the balancing system, in order to avoid the pain, will automatically place the load on the outside of the foot. This will be on the triangle A1 with limited movement, where there is no muscle tension. By doing this, however, the foot's natural resilient system, supposed to provide relief of the locomotion system, will be rendered useless. As can be seen clearly on the figure, this means that the transfer of the weight on the outside of the foot will put strain on the knees and hips inexpediently and will often be causing pain. Positioning oneself in the position as shown on the figure, one will be aware that at the same time as the knees are pushing outwards, the loin will become stiff. The tired feet will therefore often be the real reason for back problems. As shown, most of the made-to-measure orthopedic supports are equipped with fairly strong support of the arch. This will to a degree reduce the effect of the foot's natural resilient system and at the same time move the weight from the heel and the ball of the foot towards the middle of the foot, which reduces balance. The support of the arch will furthermore apply an additional fixing of the foot in the shoe and thereby reduce blood circulation. The surface of the Medicovi A40, A41 is completely level, allowing the foot's natural resilient system to work efficiently and achieve the best possible blood circulation as well as the best possible balance. When pain occurs in the sole of the foot, one will automatically begin to adopt a series of relieving foot positions. These relieving positions will often result in inexpedient strains on the knee, hip, and back, which later in the day may result in pain in the ball of the foot, generating problems with the knee, hip, and back. Through the water wave therapy sensory massage, the Medicovi A40 and A41 will interrupt the shoe's fixing and passivating of the foot. The water wave therapy will simultaneously increase the blood circulation in the foot and the sole of the foot considerably. thereby reducing or removing the uncomfortable tiredness or pain in the sole of the foot, reducing the tiredness in the foot's resilient system, thus reducing the resulting tiredness problems in the heel, knee, hip, and back. This is a new and unique orthopedic system for working soles, reducing the tiredness problems in the sole of the foot, heel, knee, hip, and back. Genetically, the heel has been designed for the protection of the locomotion system against the impact forces which will develop during the impact with the ground, as well as the pressure resulting from the support of the body weight. Inside the heel cushion there are a large number of differently shaped small interconnecting fat pockets, between which there are a large number of blood vessels and veins. When the heel bone is pushing down into the heel cushion, blood and lymph will be pushed out. The squeezing out of the liquid will reduce the speed with which the heel bone is pushing down into the heel cushion during impact, thereby converting the impact energy into liquid flow. At the same time, the heel cushion will be distributing the impact forces over a large area surrounding the heel bone. The result of this will be that the pressure from the support of the body weight which follows is distributed over a large surface. The heel cushion is thus operating two functions simultaneously, as the heel cushion will reduce the speed of the heel bone's movement downwards towards the ground, and at the same time increasing the surface of the portion of the heel bone which must withstand the impact forces. Only at the time when the heel is lifted away from the ground will the high blood pressure through the system of blood vessels inflate the heel cushion again, thus preparing the heel cushion for the next impact. The heel cushion shock absorbing system is thus based on outward going liquid flow as well as liquid inflation. It is important to notice that there is a time delay between the outward going liquid flow and the liquid inflation of the heel cushion. Standing still, for instance, the heel cushion will only inflate the moment the heel is lifted away from the ground. Very important. This means that the heel cushion does not have any recoil. In shoes, as well as in most insoles, the shock absorbing system is combined of several resilient materials. This means that the shoe's shock absorbing system corresponds to a spring, which will endeavour to return to the original position immediately after being pressed down by the impact force. In order to achieve sufficient shock absorption, the shoe's manufacturer must source resilient materials which are able to absorb the energy impact and then return relatively slowly to the original shape. If the spring returns too quickly, it will generate an inexpedient and harmful recoil force upwards into the heel. Returning too slowly, it will not provide the intended protection. The factory manufactured shoes will fit people with different weight, and because these people will be moving at different speeds, the effect on a specific shoe's shock absorbing system will operate differently from person to person. Because the foot is fixed by the shoe, the heel bone will put a load on the same area of the shoe's internal heel continuously, which for a lot of running shoes will result in shock absorbing materials being crushed. Using the shoe will create a depression in the inner heel where the heel bone is continuously causing strain on the material. As can be seen, there are fundamental differences between the shock absorbing systems in the heel and the shoe. The identical small loading area in the shoe's internal heel where shock absorbing material is exposed to a large degree of wear. The shock absorbing system in the heel is a system whereby the impact energy will be converted to flow energy and heat. The heel cushion will not inflate by the blood pressure until the heel is moved away from the underlay, thereby avoiding recoil. A large relieving surface pressure against the heel bone will be created by the heel cushion. The shock absorbing system in the shoe is a spring absorbing system where the energy will accumulate in a spring tension to be released immediately following the impact. This will generate inexpedient recoil. If the spring tension is released too soon, losing the effect of the spring tension is released too late relative to the walking speed. The principle in the Medicovi A40 and A41 shock absorbing system is very similar to that of the heels system. The pressure wave massage sole has a very special welded pattern in between the heel and the ball of the foot. This welded pattern provides a powerful hydraulic shock absorption. When the sole is being put under strain by the heel during walking, the water is being pushed from the heel through the two heel valves, which restrict the water flow towards the ball of the foot. This delay of the water flow towards the front of the foot is resulting in a temporary damming up of a water cushion under the heel. As a result of the very strong inelastic and relatively rigid folios from which the A40 and A41 are made, a very high pressure is generated extremely fast in the temporarily restricted water cushion during impact. The water cushion will then, with extreme high velocity, distribute the impact powers across a large surface of the heel cushion as well as the shoe's internal heel. Through this lightning-fast hydraulic pressure distribution condition, where during the impact the pressure wave massage sole will distribute the impact powers across a large surface in the heel, as well as in the heel of the shoe, the heels and the shoe's absorbing system will be utilized more efficiently. The impact time will at the same time be extended by the continuous water flow towards the front of the foot through the heel valves. Extraordinarily efficient shock absorption has hereby been achieved by means of the pressure wave massage sole's extreme efficiency. In the pressure wave massage sole, the impact energy will be converted to flow energy as well as heat, similar to the heel shock absorbing principle. This means that no harmful recoil will occur. The pressure wave massage sole will protect knee, hip and back very efficiently through a principle analogous to the dampening done by the heel cushion. If one has a Medicovi A40 or A41 in the shoes, and by standing on the toes, letting the total body weight fall backwards onto the heel, one can very clearly feel this pain-reducing shock absorption. The tiredness loadings when performing standing and walking work may, as shown to a great extent, originate from the fixing and passivating of the foot and the sole of the foot, which is the obvious result of using shoes on level surfaces. The reason for this being the reduction of the blood circulation caused by the fixing and passivating of the foot and the sole, which will generate a one-sided strain on the locomotion system. It is extremely important that the brain is being supplied with oxygen continuously, as the brain cells do not have energy storage. When standing, it is therefore important that the blood pressure from the heart is large enough in order to overcome the gravity forces as well as the resistance in the arteries towards the brain. In the standing position, this means that the blood pressure in the feet will be increased by a pressure corresponding to approximately 1.5 meters water column. The blood circulation to feet and legs flows through arteries, capillaries and veins. The capillaries form the transition between arteries and veins. In the capillaries, lymph-carrying oxygen and nutrition is pushed through to the cells. During this process, the blood pressure is reduced and only a very low pressure remains in the oxygen and nutrition-starved blood in the veins. When we experience a small injury on the foot, generally only a very small amount of blood will emerge. This relatively low blood pressure has to return to the heart. Water does not run upwards, it must be pumped. The same applies to efficient blood circulation. The veins are in close contact with the muscles, and they will therefore be expanded and compressed in unison with the muscle movements. In the veins, there are valves allowing the blood to run upwards towards the heart only. The importance of the vein valves is that when the muscles are tightened, the blood will be pushed through the veins towards the heart, and when muscles are being relaxed, the blood will be sucked out of the capillaries into the veins. The muscle movements as well as the venous pumping system is therefore of great importance to standing and walking work. When standing and walking with shoes on level surfaces, the body weight will compress arteries, capillaries, and veins in the foot supporting areas. Thus, the blood circulation to these vital areas will be restricted for long periods of time. The shoes and the level surfaces passivating of the foot's muscle movements will simultaneously reduce the efficiency of the venous pumping system. This combination is the reason for bad circulation in feet and legs, and particularly in the soles of feet when performing standing and walking work. Had we been walking bare feet on hard and uneven surfaces, the uneven nature of the surface would continuously force the foot and the sole of the foot to move, and the body weight would have been continuously moving around the sole of the foot. The blockage of the blood circulation to the supporting skin layers would have been divided into short intervals by the uneven surface, thereby maintaining the blood supply to the supporting cells. The continuous movement of the foot caused by the uneven surface would at the same time have increased the efficiency of the venous pumping system and thereby reduced the tiredness loading considerably. The hydraulic foot sole joint provides a powerful reduction in the different tiredness loadings because the water wave therapy's slow-moving hydraulic pressure wave is interrupting the shoe's fixing of the foot and provides a powerful sensory massage to the sole of the foot. The sensory massage generated by the water wave therapy will force the foot and the sole of the foot to move, as well as the continuous change caused by the water wave therapy on the body's weight loading on the sole of the foot. Through this, the time when the body weight is restricting the blood circulation to the supporting cells in the sole of the foot is reduced. On top of that, the provoked movement of the foot will result in an improved efficiency of the venous pumping system in the feet and legs. The hydraulic foot sole joint is thus increasing the blood circulation mechanically, reducing the tiredness loading considerably. At the same time, the water wave therapy sensory massage is forcing a much larger part of the surface of the foot to take part in supporting the body weight. This will reduce the compression of the blood circulation's vessels, which will also cause a substantial pain reduction for employees who may have developed pain in the ball of the foot during the day. The Medicovi A40 and A41, through their provoked movements and the continuously alternating loading on the surface of the foot, provides an automatic and mechanical increase in the blood circulation in the feet and the legs. From what we have seen, the working soles A40 and A41 with the new water wave balance technology has a whole range of new and unique characteristics. This makes the A40 and A41 something very special, meaning that with these soles, a very large degree of comfort is achieved during standing and walking work. We will briefly summarize the many new unique tiredness reducing and relieving qualities which are achieved by the A40 and the A41. Energy is being used continuously in the muscles throughout the day and are being used by the balancing system to keep the body steady. The better the balance, the less energy is being used. This is why the A40 and A41 will reduce tiredness automatically during the performance of standing and walking work. The improved balance does also mean that the working movements are executed to a greater extent in relation to what we want. The working movements are executed with greater stability and safety. Learning new movements will become easier and faster, and the risk of falling is minimized. With the new technology, the rotation of the body is made easier because the balance-generating water film, which under very large hydraulic pressure is forced beneath the foot's supporting surfaces. This creates a kind of hydraulic foot sole joint which will cause a significant friction reduction between the foot and the shoe. Through this completely new joint function, a large reduction will take place of the rotating power, which usually creates strain in the knee, hip, and back while the body is performing its many turning. The new technology reduces or removes the tiredness loadings. breaking up the shoe's one-sided loadings on knee, hip and back, thereby allowing the loads to be distributed across a wider spectrum of the muscle groups. This will then reduce the tiredness loadings on the muscles as well as the joints. At the same time, the water wave therapy sensory massage will provide a continuously varied pain-relieving pressure relief on the sole of the foot. The water wave therapy sensory massage increases the effect of the venous pumping system in feet and legs, and at the same time breaks the body weight's blockage of the blood circulation in the sole of the foot. This will create a significantly increased blood circulation in feet and legs. Without A40 and A41, the body weight will put the load on the same areas of the foot surface, which will squeeze the blood vessels and thereby block the blood circulation. Through the increased blood circulation in the feet and legs, the pain-creating tiredness loading of the sole of the foot, i.e. discomfort and pain in the ball of the foot, burning and prickly feet, will be reduced. Just as the increased blood circulation will reduce discomfort and pain in legs as well as increasing the effect of the foot's resilient system. It will increase the effects of the foot's resilient system by reducing the tiredness loadings in the heel, knee, hip and back. The A40 and A41 will at the same time relieve the heel through a new and unique hydraulic shock absorbing system where the principle is analogous to that of the heel cushion shock absorbing system. As something new, the hydraulic shock absorbing system will enhance the shoe's shock absorbing system. From what we have seen, the working soles A40 and A41 with the new water wave balance technology has a whole range of new and unique characteristics which make the A40 and A41 something very special. The achieved comfort is what makes the A40 and A41 the absolute best option for standing and walking work. Thank you for viewing our presentation. I trust this helps you to understand how wonderful this new technology is and really embrace it with your clients or yourself. Thank you.